Continuing along, we've spent this entire live lesson series thus far looking at how to use Node asynchronously and how to sort of stay out of trouble and maximize performance while we're using these asynchronous non-blocking function calls. But for command line programming, when I really just need to be able to do some simple file manipulations or something like that, I actually do kind of want synchronous APIs. So the cool thing is Node totally includes these for us. And for those cases where we're not writing a high-performance network server or something like that, I can just quickly write some quick and dirty code to do things in a more traditional manner. So what I've done is I have gone ahead and written a file copying utility here in Node.js just to demonstrate the synchronous API. So basically, for anything we've seen in the FS module, the file system module, any of these functions, you can actually usually just add sync with a capital S to get a synchronous version of the functions. So I've written a function called file copy, or copy file sync, which has a source path and a destination path. And so it's exactly like you'd expect. I open sync, I want to do that. I open sync on the destination with write, and then in a simple while loop, almost a megabyte at a time, I synchronously read, synchronously write, synchronously read and write until I've got to the end of the file. And then I can close sync on the source file and the destination file, and I'm done. Now, if you remember that the old APIs, the sort of read, the write, and the open and close, the third parameter would be a function that would take an and then would return or would pass to us an error or null, and then would pass to us a file descriptor, for example. So you'll see here the file descriptor is returned from the open sync function. So my question is, where does this error go? What happens to that? And the answer is actually we go back to traditional structured exception handling, and the actual function will throw on an error. So now when I call this copy file sync, I need to be sure to put it in a try catch block so that I have robust error handling like I had before. So basically here, you can see I do the shebang here to load in Node, and in fact I can just use user bin env node like that. Then the first thing I do is I make sure that I have 4 command line arguments. I want node, I want this script's path, and then I want a source and a destination. If I don't get that, I squawk and I print a message. If I do get the 4 files, then what I do is I call the sync. If something goes wrong, I print out the error message and exit. Otherwise, I copy the file and we can exit naturally. So I should here now be able to say file copy.js, and I'm actually just going to copy myself to inception.js. And you'll see it copied over one file, and it's the same file as this one. So that's a very brief introduction to asynchronous APIs. I could actually, if I wanted to, I could in fact make this a move function instead of a let's just Emacs and move inception. We'll call this file move.js, and we'll change mod 755 file move.js. Great. So now I'm going to open up file move.js, and I'm going to search replace copy file with move file. So there should be 2 of those. And now what I'm going to do is after I've closed the files, I'm going to fs unlink sync on the source path. And so that's really all there is to it. And again, these will all throw errors if something goes wrong or we have a problem. So now I should see I have an executable file move. And so I'm going to say file move hello world to goodbye cruel world, like that. Oops, I forgot to change the message. But anyway, yes, it does successfully move the file. So this is sort of, when you look through a lot of the Node documentation, if you see the sync, that's a good thing. That means I can use these functions for writing sort of command line utilities. And some libraries will be synchronous, some libraries will be asynchronous, these NPM modules. You have to go check the documentation and find out exactly what you're getting and how you should be using it. But I just wanted to show you here that Node is absolutely fantastic for doing sort of command line file manipulations in the shell, and it's something that I increasingly do sort of for my own personal administration on my own machines. So definitely something worth taking a look at.